The Trial of the Chicago 7 is a 2020 American historical legal drama film written and directed by Aaron Sorkin. The film follows the Chicago 7, a group of anti-Vietnam War protesters charged with conspiracy and crossing state lines with the intention of inciting riots at the 1968 Democratic National Convention in Chicago. It features an ensemble cast that includes Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, Sacha Baron Cohen, Daniel Flaherty, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Michael Keaton, Frank Langella, John Carroll Lynch, Eddie Redmayne, Noah Robbins, Mark Rylance, Alex Sharp, and Jeremy Strong. Sorkin originally wrote the screenplay in 2007, with the intent of Steven Spielberg directing the film with mostly unknown actors. After the 2007 Writers Guild of America strike and budget concerns forced Spielberg to drop out as director, Sorkin was announced as director in October 2018, and much of the cast joined that same month. 4. Filming took place in the fall of 2019 in Chicago and around New Jersey. Originally planned for a theatrical release by Paramount Pictures, the distribution rights to the film were sold to Netflix due to the COVID-19 pandemic. It was released in select theaters on September 25, 2020, and began streaming digitally on Netflix on October 16, 2020. The film received positive reviews from critics, who praised the performances, the screenplay, and the modern parallels to the 1960s. In August 1968, Abbie Hoffman, Jerry Rubin, Tom Hayden, Rennie Davis, David Dellinger, Lee Weiner, John Frohans, and Bobby Seale make preparations to protest at the Democratic National Convention in Chicago. 5 months later, all 8 of them are arrested and charged with trying to incite a riot. John N. Mitchell, the Attorney General, appoints Tom Foran and Richard Schultz as the prosecutors, while all the defendants except Seale are represented by William Kunstler and Leonard Weinglass. Judge Julius Hoffman shows significant prejudice for the prosecution. Seale's attorney, Charles Gary, cannot attend due to illness, leading Judge Hoffman to insist that Kunstler represents all 8 defendants. This insistence is rejected repeatedly by both Kunstler and Seale. Seale receives support from Fred Hampton, which Judge Hoffman assumes as legal help. Abbie Hoffman openly antagonizes the court. Judge Hoffman begins removing jurors who are suspected of sympathizing with the defendants due to reported threats from the Black Panther Party and charges the defendants and their attorneys with multiple counts of contempt of court. Numerous undercover local police officers and FBI agents testify. At the time of the convention, Hayden noticed 2 cops tailing Davis and attempted to let the air out of their tire, but was caught and later arrested. Abbie and others led a protest to the police station where Hayden was being kept, but turned around upon seeing the police blockade outside. When attempting to return to the park, police had taken control of the hill with orders to disperse the crowd. A riot ensued, and the protesters clashed with police in an attempt to claim the hill. Kunstler makes a point that none of the defendants instigated the riot. Days later, the defendants learned that Fred Hampton was killed during a police raid. In retaliation to Seale continuing to speak up for his constitutional rights, Judge Hoffman has him taken to another room, beaten, and returned gagged and chained. The prosecution and defense object to the judge's order, and Judge Hoffman declares Seale's case a mistrial. The defense decide to put Ramsey Clark, Attorney General during the riots, on the stand. Judge Hoffman refuses to let him testify that he had declined to initiate prosecutions after the riots because of evidence that the Chicago Police Department instigated them. Dellinger punches a bailiff, resulting in his arrest. Kunstler presents a tape implicating Hayden to the defendants, and preps Hayden for a cross-examination. On the night of the riot, Davis tried to pacify cops attempting to arrest a minor who was climbing a flagpole. After the police clubbed Davis's head, an enraged Hayden exclaimed, "If blood is gonna flow, then let it flow all over the city." The defendants were eventually cornered by police, who removed their badges and proceeded to assault them. Abbie deduces that Hayden was taken out of context, claiming that the original statement would have started with, "If our blood is going to flow." Hayden asks him to testify. In his testimony, Abbie reinforces that Hayden was misconstrued, and states his disdain for the U.S. government's leadership. At the end of the trial, despite Judge Hoffman's instructions and objections, Hayden uses the closing statement to name the 4,752 soldiers who were killed in the Vietnam War since the trial began. This act prompts many in the court to stand and cheer. Aaron Sorkin stated to Vanity Fair in July 2020 that he first found out about the planned film during a visit to Steven Spielberg's home in 2006, specifying that Spielberg told me he wanted to make a movie about the riots at the 1968 Democratic Convention and the trial that followed. He also added that he had no previous knowledge of these events, stating, "I left not knowing what the hell he was talking about." 4. In July 2007, Sorkin wrote the script for the trial of the Chicago 7, based on the conspiracy trial of the so-called Chicago 7. 5. Executive producers Spielberg, Walter F. Parks, and Laurie MacDonald collaborated on the development of Sorkin's script, with Spielberg intending to direct the film. Sacha Baron Cohen was cast as Abby Hoffman as early as 2007-06, while, at the time, Spielberg approached Will Smith for the role of Bobby Seale, and planned to meet with Heath Ledger about playing Tom Hayden. 7. The Writers Guild of America strike, which started in November 2007 and lasted 100 days, 8, delayed filming and the project was suspended. 9. Sorkin later continued to rewrite the script for Spielberg, and the director intended to mostly cast unknowns to keep the budget down. 10.